Hello, my name is Matthias Cavodi. I'd like to welcome guys to my channel. Today we're going to talk about Contest of Champions 2016. This is a really odd affair. Original Contest of Champions was a duel of battles between the teams of the Grandmaster and Death. It's a classic story arc. Then we had a second Contest of Champions in the late 90s that was held by a mysterious figure that I really don't want to spoil. I'm going to probably cover in another video. It's very forgotten, that story arc, but it was pretty awesome. At least I enjoyed it a lot. Now, we have the third one, or the one I think is the third, and it's pretty interesting, and I feel like it sort of just totally flew under the radar. The story is written by Ewing. We have fantastic art by Paco Medina. Again, this came out 2016. Now we have the collector creating a team in this cosmic wager against the Grandmaster, and these elders of the universe that always have like some certain motifs or have obsessions with being collecting, games, gardening, fighting, running, and stuff like that. Over the years, as I met a lot of people due to my work and stuff like that, I started to meet people like the elders that are like hyper focused, have too much spare time on their hands. A lot of these guys have a lot of money, so these characters over the years started to make more sense to me. So the collector and Grandmaster both have like these generals that are the ones choosing the lineups that are going to clash against each other. The collector has Maestro, who is one of my favorite villains. Over the years, I really learned to love this character. And the really interesting thing is that the place where they're going to clash is actually the remnants of Battleworld, the world that was created by Doom during Hickman's Secret Wars. It's based off the remnants of that. So we have Maestro. He's chosen a little story where we see he chooses Stick, a character that I've always hated. There's some really weird and obscure characters popping up in this Contest of Champions. We have this dude, his name is Outlaw. He's the British Punisher that I've never heard of in my life, and he uses non-lethal guns. That seems to be really stupid, especially in this contest. But the character himself, the way he's written in this story, he's sort of lovable. Like, he's like way in over his head. So Outlaw is pulled into one of these competitions, and also the rules and how the Grandmaster or Collector game points make no sense, and how they just change people up, and it's just go that detail, and just it's a real fun ride. I do recommend you guys read this. Like, I'm gonna spoil the hell out of it, but it's worth it, and it's live series, but it's pretty curious. And again, we get tons of really obscure characters. So Outlaws pops up in Battle World. We see Venom, Gamora going at it. We see Mr. Fix-It going up against Iron Man. Outlaw doesn't know what the hell to do. He's just trying to stay alive. We have Devil Dinosaur and Moon Boy, a Hydra Devil Dinosaur and Moon Boy. It's just utter chaos. We also get the introduction of a new character called Guillotine. Not sure if this is the first time we see the character called White Fox, who's actually investigating the disappearance of this South Korean superhero called Gun Arm. That she was actually, that character brought her up, and he's gone missing, which is pretty obvious that he was pulled into this competition and brought only pieces of him were returned to Earth. Story arc, we have the return of Varus, who was killed. He was killed by Sentry. He makes his big return in the story. There's another big character that makes a big return that I was really happy to see making his comeback in the story too. Obviously, all these characters that are being pulled out of their respective realities, when they find out the whole situation with this competition, they're not happy. They're not willing to do it, but obviously they're being coerced to join in on this competition. For Grandmaster is Punisher 2099. Character that I remember he was pretty big when he came out. I was never really interested in the 2099 characters. I always thought Spider-Man 2099 aesthetically looked really awesome. Tried to dip into that phase of the Marvel universe, but it never chopped me. Buying Spider-Man 2099 when it came out, Doom 2099 too, but I just didn't find them to be interesting. So we get the two lineups: Collector's team, Ares, Stick, Gamora, Iron Man, Guillotine, and Outlaw, and Grandmaster's team, Mr. Fix-It, Venom, and Sentry, and we still have to see who else is going to join the team. The Collector's team teleported to a new scenario to battle. Ares actually has to confront Sentry, which this is probably messed up because the last time they saw each other, Sentry ripped him into two pieces. When I read that, the Siege of Asgard crossover was like one of the last times in comic books I thought to myself, like, oh shit, that was freaking awesome. I didn't see that coming. The team with Sentry, we have Venom, who talks to himself and talks to Peter Parker that he killed a Rick Jones Hulk, a Bullseye Electra. It's a pretty formidable and dangerous team. Stick and Sentry want to hatch a plan to stop the situation, take down the Collector and Grandmaster. Obviously, the Sentry is insanely powerful, so they start scheming. Turn of Night Thrasher, that was really awesome. I really love that character. As I always say, I got into comic books with New Warriors, Spider-Man, and X-Men, those three titles, and I always thought that Night Thrasher was a freaking awesome character. So Stick and Sentry keep on scheming, but Punisher 2099 was using this cloaking device, one that was so good that Stick or Sentry didn't know he was there, uses this future gun and straight up disintegrates the Sentry in one shot, and we discover that Maestro and Punisher 2099 also were scheming, and they're going to pull a fast one on the Collector and on the Grandmaster. Over at the end of the Secret Wars, the Elders got together, started this competition. The last two surviving combatants were Maestro and Punisher 2099. Both of these characters decide not to fight in the final battle. They make a wager, say, hey, let's make a new competition. That's how we got to the situation. And Maestro and Punisher 2099 are able to take down the two Elders. Maestro is going to be the leader, and Punisher is going to be the enforcer. Maestro creates his own, resurrects in a certain way, battle world to create his world for his own. Fox goes to the Ultimates to investigate what happened to Gunnar. So obviously in the next compilation issue, we're going to have the Ultimates going up against Maestro. I really love that villain. Like, he was so really cool, and he ends up being folded into the main Marvel universe. He's going to be tussling against Old Man Logan. So I'm going to leave this video here. I do recommend the series. It was one of the first few good things that came out in Marvel during this time. After Secret Wars, things really sucked for a while. So this particular era of Marvel wasn't the best. There was a couple, one or two titles that were worth a while, but this was one of the exceptions. So hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.